Hello, hello, everybody. This is Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. And it is, what day is it? Thursday. It's time to do our February craft kit of the month. Each month there's a craft kit. So this is February's craft kit of the month. It is this Rise Up Beautiful, this beautiful home decor piece that we're going to be putting together. So those of you who bought the kit, there may be one kit left in the shop. If somebody is still interested in grabbing it, and then you can come back to this video to see how to put it together, or you can put it together your own way. It's totally up to you. I'm just happy to have your company while we create and craft here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. So I'm going to see if this feed is working because I can't see that there's anybody here unless I get on my computer and look. So give me a second here to see if the feed is showing where it's supposed to be. There I am. Let's just see if this is going to work. I'm a little out of breath. I ran across the house to get over here. Hey, Debbie, thanks for saying hello from Florida. Thank you for doing that. Now I can see that it's working. I think I'll keep this up so that I can see your comments real well and real easily. Hey, Christina Martin. There are my friends. There's Leslie and Ruth. Who's creating with me? Who's doing the craft kit with me? They almost sold out. Like I said, I think there's one more left. There may be one more left. If you want to check, and go to the comfynestwithgrace.com and then go to the craft kit section and you can check it out to see. Hey, Lisa Kidd, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Ruth is here. Yay. I'm glad you made it, Ruth. She says, I'm here. I'm here. Awesome. All right. Well, let's take a look at this kit more closely. This is what we're creating today. Although, let me just say real quick, these are the hashtags that I use in the comments if you are looking for more information. Hey, Diane. Hello, hello. Christina's just watching. It's great. I'm happy to have you here. If you're watching, if you bought the kit and you're just watching today to check it out and see how to put it together, that is totally cool. Like, still so glad to have you here. I'm just always curious how many people are actually creating alongside me. Hey, Kimberly Murders, I see that you're here. Hello, hello. Okay, so these are the hashtags that I use if you're looking for more information. So if you need any of my links and discount codes, hashtag links, comment with just that, and you will get a message to your messenger with that info. If you're more interested in learning more about the private club or getting on the wait list, hashtag club, hashtag insiders to get on the regular email list, and then hashtag Telegram to get Telegram notifications. I just wanted to put that up there because inevitably a lot of people are using the exclamation point and I don't use that. So I just want to let you know that right from the beginning. Leslie is doing her wonky dolls. Way to go, Leslie. Get it, girl. All right, let's do it. So this is what we're going for. Now, these are the things that were in the kit. You got the paper. You got the rice paper. This is background paper. This is the rice paper with the dress. Now I've already made this one. So today I'm going to make this one. So I'll have two opposings, two different ones. Then you got, this is you can buy this as a digital that you can print over and over again if you want to. These are just some art journaling words, and Rise Up Beautiful is the one that I used on my first one. That's what I named the kit, Rise Up Beautiful. So I'll pick a different one probably today since I don't want to have two of the same exact projects. But I did name the kit Rise Up Beautiful since that was the original one that I did. So you got a full sheet of words on handmade paper for that. And then a full sheet of blank handmade paper. That is going to become the frame for our dress. And then your surface. You also got a bottle of glue and a glue brush in the kit. So without any further ado, let's get going. Hey, Vicki, she's on vacation in Arizona. Well, girl, get it, girl. I'm going to prop this up right next to me for my inspiration. So I had posted with this kit in the shop the things that you would want to gather together for today's project. So I have some craft paint. We're going to do a little painting on the board before we put down the decoupage paper, the rice paper. You're going to want a glue to put that down with. Now you got a glue in the kit if you purchase the kit. I'm going to use my matte gel medium. You're going to need some brushes to apply the glue and to apply the paint. I also grabbed my archival ink. Now, whatever ink pad you use to do some distressing, just make sure that it says permanent and waterproof on it. You want it to be permanent, you want it to be waterproof, okay? So keep that in mind. And then an applicator for that, if need be. And then I did put some stickles, some like sparkly trim around the words Rise Up Beautiful, so I have that out as well. Okay, so make sure before you do anything, and mine was upside down, make sure that your here's your little hanging hardware, that it's on the correct side so you don't do this upside down, which I have been known to do. And we're going to start by prepping the background of this. So what I did on the original is we used, I don't even think I used paint the first time. I think I just used the distress ink and the rice paper. So we're going to tear our rice paper in half. So grab your decorative background rice paper, and we're going to tear this in half, and we're going to put a chunk here, and we're going to put a chunk here, and that's going to give us the base for this. We do have to get off this white edging, so I'm just going to use a paintbrush with some water. Let's see. I usually just use a little paintbrush with some water to help tear that away. So little paintbrush. I did put my water away, so let me grab that. I'm just going to spray some on my plastic table cover here and then wet my brush. And then what I do need to do is pull away all the white stuff. So I'm just going to go around this real roughly. And a lot of times I'll just use a pencil eraser. But if you have like a little silicone tool, that will help too, to remove the white edging. Okay, you could do that. I find that really easy, or you can just tear. I just feel like I have more control when I do it with, like if I lay it down on the table and do it with my eraser of my pencil. So that's a little tip for you if you're ever trying to tear off edges from napkins or rice paper, tissue paper. This works really well. So what's everybody up to today as we're creating? Hey, Cindy in Michigan. Paula Chu is here. She's working. Paula, are you getting together with us tonight? I just told Chris. I said, you guys are on your own for dinner, man. I said, I'm getting together with the girls. So it's sorority night. And Paula and I are in the same sorority here locally. And I'm wondering if you're joining us at the ranch. Are you going to be able to be there? I feel like I haven't seen everybody in ages. So I'm looking forward to just catching up and hearing what everybody's been up to. Hey, Kendra, how are you? Thanks for being here. If anybody is coming in, if you got questions, go ahead and post them in the comments. I know that there are quite a few crafty chicks who are regulars here, who are with me, hanging out, crafting and creating, both on the public side and in the private group, that can probably answer many of the questions you might have. But I also will keep watching the comments and make sure to answer any questions that you have. So don't be afraid to post them. If you're new, let us know where you're coming in from. We love to welcome new crafty chicks here to hang out with us. It's been a very busy week for me. You know what I'm doing? Paula, you want to know what I'm doing? Oh my gosh. I don't know why. I do it to myself every single year. You know, small business, one woman show here. The last thing I want to do is bookwork. So I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't do it. And then it's like, oh no, it's the end of the year and I haven't done my bookwork in months. So I'm catching up on bookwork and reconciling things, which I don't know. If you are out there and you do numbers, if you are any type of number cruncher in the financial field, accounting, bookkeeping, financial planning, whatever, you know, whatever has to do with numbers. If you're a math teacher, God bless you. Thankfully, bookwork is just, you know, the Quicken system basically does most of the work. I just have to verify it all. So I just have to like check everything off and make sure that everything is categorized the right way. And then our accountant will do the heavy lifting. And I'm thankful to God for her doing that, because it's just not my, imagine that, it's just not my skill set. Oh, Lord, can you believe it? It's already time to get taxes ready. Yikes. Who's already done theirs? Who's already been is ahead of the game? I say good for you, girl. Kudos. Hey, Joy, how are you? Hey, there's Kimberly. Kimberly, what time is your program? Is it already done? Is that what you're saying? You just got done with your workshop? Oh my gosh, you're an early riser, girl. You had that scheduled early. My friend Kim You can see her in the comments there from Lolly Doodle Studio. Widow on Fire. She had a big workshop. She's a hand lettering teacher and an artist, and she was teaching a workshop today locally with, I think she said 70 people in that group. So man, oh man, Kim, I hope it was awesome. I hope it was super fun and energizing and that it went real well. I really do. I can't wait to hear about it. I have a busy day. After this, so Kim, I know you and I need to chat. Just keep in mind, I am going to be heading to the dentist. I got to get my teeth cleaned. I go every 6 months, so that's today. So I'll go visit with my hygienist, Cassie, who I do love. I do love getting to see her and visit with her. Thankfully, it makes it so much more enjoyable. And then I'll come home and do a couple of personal things I got to get done here at the house, and then meeting my friends tonight. So Kimberly, if you're writing to me and you're not getting an immediate answer, just know I will get back to you when I can, but it's a busy afternoon for me. You go to the dentist tomorrow morning. You've had a lot of dentist stuff going on. I had a crown done and a major filling on the tooth next to it a couple of months ago. So I'm sure she'll be like, okay, how is that part of your mouth doing? Yeah, I don't like doing the major, like the dental work. I don't mind getting my teeth cleaned, but the dental work, not interested. Like fillings and all that stuff, but it's got to be done sometimes. Okay, see what I did here? Big chunk here of that paper. And then we take the other half and we put it here. That leaves a little blank space in the middle, but our dress is going to take up most of that. And we're going to fill in the blanks otherwise. So I'm going to cut it kind of like right down the middle, a diagonal this way on the portrait. You can look at it either way. You know, you just want to go upper right to lower left, one big line, and we're going to tear down the middle. So I do need just a tish more water. It just will make it easier for you, I promise. It doesn't have to be straight. It's going to be behind the dress. So it doesn't matter if it's crooked. It doesn't matter if it's straight. I don't think anybody's really paying attention to that when they're looking at your project. Easy breezy. We're going to put part of it here and we're going to put part of it there. So we're just going to have this little blank space right there that we will work with our paints. Okay. So you have a couple of options. I think when I did this originally, I used the same exact board. I glued down the 2 pieces of background paper, and then I think I just did archival ink on here and here. But you can see that the board is much more white, and we need to brown it up a little. So you could take something like a little bit of paint, and let's just do that. I'm going to make a little mark with my chalk marker, my chalk pencil, like here and here, if you wanted to, before you put these down. And you only need to do it on the very first couple of inches here and first couple of inches here, because all of this is going to get covered with the dress. So you need very, very little paint here if you decide to do this. It is not required, but you could slap on a little bit of a soft colored paint up in this corner. I would do a very, very light coat if you're going to do it. And make it like, doesn't have to be the same exact paint I have. Just any paint that's a creamy off-white or light tan would work. I think you'd be fine with any of that. Don't overthink this, ladies. That's the key here. Don't overthink it. Don't, I want a little bit of water on here to get that to spread a little easier. I don't want you to overthink it, and I don't want you to get stressed about this. This is supposed to be fun. Remember, these projects are meant to be fun. We let go of perfection, and we're playing with our stuff and having some fun. All right, let's see if that's enough to just give us a little shot of color. Yep, just a little shot of color. I might fill in right there a little more. See, I didn't even add more. You saw a little paint I used. Didn't even add more. I'm just spreading that color a little more. Now, the rest of this will get covered with the dress, so we don't have to worry about that. But we can glue down our paper now. So whatever decoupage glue you choose to use, I'm using Matte Gel Medium. Happens to be one of my favorites. And I think I'm going to make a little mental note, like I don't need the glue to go beyond that point. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just do this. I need the glue there. So I'll push that down I go over and I go under. So I go under to glue it down and then over to really hold it in place. And now I can just follow the lines of the paper to see where I need the glue. This board, this particular board that you guys are working with, if you got the kit, is very dry. So it may just suck up your glue a whole lot. So just add more glue. It's just the nature of wood. It's porous. Some wood that we work with is going to be drier than others. So the nature of it, it's just going to suck up whatever liquid you put on top of it. So don't be alarmed by that. Just put down more. You may put a thin coat like you would normally use on, say, like a metal project or something, and metal it's just going to sit on top. It's not going to seep down into the metal. But with wood, much like paper, it's porous. It's going to suck up that glue. So just add a little more and don't be too concerned with it. Just giving you a little heads up. Okay, so see what I'm doing? I just like to let the paper guide where I'm applying the glue, so I'm not using too much of it. And it just makes it easier. I don't have to apply glue everywhere, just where I'm going to be gluing it down. Okay, that's going to need some time to dry. We may need to take a dryer to it. The nice thing about rice paper, it's so different. I love, you know me, I love working with napkins too. The nice thing about rice paper though is it is so strong. You can see that I'm using quite a bit of pressure and I'm able to brush over it even after it's wet and it does not tear. That's rice paper for you. Super strong, easy to work with. You can find these two rice papers if you did not buy the kit. I think there's one kit left maybe. But if there isn't, if it's already sold out, you can buy these rice papers from my site as well. Just go to the site and, well, actually you can buy everything from this kit in the shop. You can buy the handmade paper, you can buy the digital, you can buy the glue. The only thing that you can't buy individually is the glue brush that came in the kit. Otherwise, if you already have a board and you just want the papers and the digital download, you could just go buy those things out of the shop. But I think there is just one of the actual whole kit left in the shop. So if you missed out on it, if you're a Craft Therapy Club member, they get first dibs on this, and they snatched up quite a few of them. But if you missed out on that, don't forget to use your Craft Therapy Club coupon code so you get your discount too. Okay, look at how easy, right? I love me some rice paper. And this is Decoupage Queen rice paper, which I am a retailer for. So you'll find lots and lots of rice paper and napkins on the site. So what is everybody else up to? Who's creating and crafting today? Did you see my new video over on YouTube? I posted this morning a new video over on the YouTube channel. I'm starting a new playlist over there based on the conversation that we've been having here, actually. I'm starting a new playlist for you guys over there, and I hope it inspires you in times when you are feeling like because I asked the question, like, what holds you back from creating on a regular basis? And so many of you said time, because you have so many other obligations. Well, this new playlist is going to address that, and I'm going to be showing you like 15-minute short projects, 15, 20 minutes or less, probably short projects that if you only have 30 minutes or less, I'll really try to focus on those shorter times. I'm going to be giving you some demonstrations of things that you can do to create and be creative and get your me time in, get your craft therapy time in, even if you don't have hours and hours to spend. Hey, Carol, how are you? Hey, Chris Hunter, how are you, friend? Virginia's here. No, you don't have to apologize, Virginia. You're always welcome, late or not late. Uh-oh. Poor Kim has more dental work to do. Okay, while this is drying, I'm going to set it aside for a second and we're going to prep the other two pages. Okay, we can put this aside because that goes on the way top. That's the last layer. But here, this is the next layer, is this piece of blank paper that you got in the kit is going to become the frame for our dress. So pick the dress that you want and we're going to prepare the frame and the dress. Now, I told you I've already done this dress. See that? It's so pretty. I've already done that one. So I'm going to do this one today. And I'm going to try. I don't remember when I did this the first time, if I used a paper cutter or not. You may want, all right, let's point this out to you. When we do the kits together, whenever I'm creating anything together and I'm doing a workshop, or I'm like, you know, leading a project for you guys here or in the private group, I always encourage you to do you. Like, you do you. You do it the way you like to do it. Okay? It does not have to look exactly like mine. But here's what I did. The plain paper becomes the frame. It goes underneath the rice paper that has the image of the dress. So for the plain paper, if you notice, I tore the edges so it purposefully looked really torn. But then for the dress, personally, I chose to go with a straight edge. You may want 2 torn edges. You may want 2 straight edges. There is no right or wrong. I'm just pointing out the way that I'm going to do it so that they match is I'm going to do a straight edge on the dress and I'm going to do a torn edge on the frame. I'm going to cut out the dress first because then I'll be able to make the frame, customize it like to the dress. I'm going to see if I can, I don't remember, did I use a personal cutter last time, or did I don't remember if I used a personal cutter or scissors. Let's see if we can cut the rice paper with, yep, you get nice straight lines with your personal cutter if you pull that out. Again, if you don't have one, just use your scissors. You can mark it on the back if you want to be super straight with a ruler, and then cut it with your scissors. You can use your cutting board if you want to. I'm going to go this way next, I think. And I'm cutting it so that I'm getting even just a tish of the color. I'm just getting a little bit of that color off the edge to make sure that there's no white. I don't want to see any white around the dress. Okay, super simple. We're just cutting it down. If you want to tear it down, like I said, girls, you do you. There's no right or wrong. It's just whatever your preferences are. Now, because this is ready to go, I can tell what size I need for this piece. That will help me gauge how big I need this piece. I don't think it's big enough to go this way. It's, I suppose you could cut this down a little more and go this way. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go this way. And this already has torn and dark edges on 2 sides, right? So what I'm going to do is use my tearing ruler, my ruler with my rough edges, and I'm going to tear it just big enough. Although for me, because I have 2 of these and I'm going to try to make them kind of a matching set, I want to leave, you don't have to worry about this because you're only going to have 1 of these. But whatever amount of space you leave here, that looks like about 1/4 of an inch, you want it to be the same on this side, 1/4 inch. Doesn't have to be 1/4 inch. It can be less, it can be more, totally up to you. But it looks like I did about 1/4 inch all the way around. So it's always better to give yourself more, and you can take off a little bit if you need to. But if you cut it too short, then that's a little more troublesome. Okay, so I'm going to use my tearing ruler to give myself that torn edge that I'm looking for. Very controlled and slow. There's one side. And now I just see how it's easy. You can just lay that image right down on there, and that gives you the perfect reference point for this little frame that you're making with the handmade paper. There we go. And she's done. Now, with this handmade paper, here's a full sheet. I ran this through my printer with the digital download that you can get on the site. This digital download, this is just 1 of 3 pages. I think it's 3 pages on this digital download. There are 2 pages of full phrases, and then this 1 page either has 1 word or just a few words of phrases that you can use in art journaling or in any creative project that you have. I ran this paper through my printer to get the digital download on, and that's the beauty of owning a digital download. You can reprint it over and over again. But do you see all of the edges are already darkened? They're already darkened. And here, these 2 were darkened. That was the original. Now I just tore these 2, and they are not darkened. They're torn, but they have not been distressed. So this is where our distress ink will come into play, and we'll use it to darken up those edges. Okay, so whatever tool, you know, these are the kinds of tools that people use. You can use a makeup wedge to do this, but any spongy applicator will probably help you. All I'm going to do is get these 2 edges darkened so that they match these 2. So we're going to come in just like you would with any other paper project. And I call it mucking up the edges. We're going to muck them up a little. So I like to do this, the absolute edge, but then I do like to take the distress in a little further from that. So let's do the edge first, get that done. And then in the corners, I like it to look even a little more distressed. So I usually come back in and rub a little more. It's like, when you have a frame up on the wall for a long time, the corners get more dusty than everything else. That's what it makes me think of. It just looks really authentic. Super vintage and aged. So even on the parts that were already done, because that's how the paper originally came, I'm still going to come in and add a little more distressing. Now here it seems very bright compared to this side. So I'm going to come back in here. This paper is very, very thick. It's almost like a fabric. So it's pretty easy to work with. It's very soft, but it's pretty strong. So we don't have to worry too much about ripping it. Okay, so let's see how that looks when we put her down. I mean, she has no head, but we put the dress down on top of this. Okay, so this is really bright right here, and I don't like that. I want to muck it up some more. So I'm gonna lay it right on my finger and then use my finger as a place that gives me that resistance I need. I could put it on my table and do it on my table, but I don't want to get any ink on my table. I'm being lazy. I don't want to clean it up. So I try to find other ways to do things. So here, again, my finger behind there gives me kind of a surface area to rub my applicator against. I want some more here. Just eyeball it, whatever you like. I like things kind of distressed. Sometimes more heavy, sometimes lighter. I'm liking that a lot. Very happy with that. Okay, let's check on our board and see where that is. I'm going to put this stuff aside for a second. Let me check the comments. What's everybody saying? Hey, Andrea, how are you? Good morning, Jerry. She's coming in from Texas. Hello, Andrea Scott. What a pretty name. I am using Liquitex Gel Medium, Miss Carol, to answer your question. Yay, Leslie finished her wonky dolls. We made wonky paper dolls. They are so stinking cute. We made these in, I'm going to just show you one of them. I have several. I'm not done with mine, girls. I know we did the basis of them the other day in the group, and I still have yet to do the finishing touches. But we did wonky paper dolls inside the group. And so Leslie's saying, I finished mine. Look at her little legs. She said, I finished mine and posted them. I can't wait to go back into the group and see. That's our private group, the Craft Therapy Club. So yay, Leslie, get it, girl. Get it. Do your creative thing. Okay, let's check on this guy and see, is it still pretty wet or how are we looking? It's still pretty damp. This is going to go right here. See, so we didn't have a lot of space to cover there. We just didn't have a lot of space. I do need to put the dryer on it for a few minutes, and then we'll finish up getting the board ready. Isn't it so pretty? Thanks, Andrea. Thanks for saying that. She said, I hope you're great. I am doing pretty good today. Thank you for wishing me well. I wish you well as too. I'm doing all right today so far. Usually the afternoons are really tough on me, like in terms of, my chronic pain. So I'm really hoping I make it to sorority tonight. It's usually like around 3 o'clock. Like yesterday, I was in bed from like 1 to 3:30 or something. The pain creeps in and then I just need to lay down. I'm out of commission. And sometimes I rebound, if I get a couple hours in bed, I can rebound to feel better, to get on with my day. But sometimes I'm out for the rest of the night. Yes, such is life with a chronic pain condition. Okay, got a tiny little bit of overage right there. You can tear it off. That is easy breezy and it works. You can tear it off. If you want to, you can take your sander and sand it off. It doesn't really matter. Just, get it off. We're not looking for a super tight and straight fit around here. You'll see in some places I'm a little short where the board is coming through. And here I'm a little long. And it's actually going over the board. But it adds to the complete charm of this. You could go around and make all of the edges the same exact sharpness with your your sanding block, but I'm not going to do that. Oops, sorry for the bang. I'm not going to do that for this one. I'm going to leave it pretty natural. Hey, Callie, how are you, friend? Welcome, welcome. I see you. Okay, so as we did on the paper, we are going to take our distress ink and we are going to come around the edges of our board. Okay, actually, I think I can lay this down. There's about a quarter inch or an inch of space between the top of the board and my table, so I won't even be touching my table if I lay this one down and do it on the table. And I want to distress around the edges. The paper itself is already darkened around the edges, but we're going to be adding a little more to make sure that all of the edges match. They all get equally distressed. Super easy. We're just taking a little bit of ink from our pad with any applicator that you can find. Some people like to use these applicators. That works too. Whatever you got, girl. Use what you got. Use a makeup wedge if you have to. You could probably use a tiny little cotton rag, clean cotton rag that doesn't let off any lint. Okay, so I'm going to do all of the edges, and then I'm going to place the paper again down just to see visually what are we looking like. There's my top and bottom. This is what it's looking like. See this painted spot, this tiny little painted spot right there? I am going to come in and muck that up. I think that looks much better. So I'm going to, where the board is. Now remember what I said. You can see the difference now. On this one, I didn't use any paint. I just mucked up the board, the actual board. There's nothing there but board. Here, I put a little paint first. I used just a tiny bit of this acrylic paint in the color, what is it? What's the color of this one? I think it's just beige. Oh, it's called linen. You see the difference? This one's a little brighter and that one's a little darker. No right or wrong. Doesn't matter. Do whatever you got, girl. Do whatever. You're too lazy to do the paint, don't do the paint. I think it looks great without the paint as well. All right, now we're ready to glue this down. That is how easy breezy that is. I think I'm going to glue this down first and then glue this down on top of it. The order does not matter. This paper is thick enough that it could actually handle a liquid glue like tacky glue. So I'm going to use some tacky glue on here. I'm going to put this aside for just a minute. And we're going to tacky glue this down. Please make sure, again, I'm reminding you again, where is your hanging hardware before you glue this down? Make sure that your hanging hardware is at the top. Thanks, Pamela. Thanks for saying so. I appreciate that comment. So I like to drag the tip as the glue's coming out. I drag the tip because I don't want to have any, like that was a big bunch of glue and I don't like it to be bunched up. So I kind of drag it to spread it out. You could use an applicator, but you know me, I'm the lazy girl. I'm gonna make this as easy as I can on myself. I'm gonna go close to the edges. I don't always do that. Sometimes I like my edges peeking out and like to have movement where they ruffle up on the page a little, but I'm not doing that on this one. I'm going pretty close to the edge. Okay, centered is your only goal is to center it. Don't worry about anything else. Just needs to be centered. It's thick enough. Once you get that glue on there, you can still move it around. I haven't pressed anything down yet, but I'm just checking for evenness. I'm not a ruler girl. I do not measure anything, but you sure could come. I got about 1.5 inches on that side. I got a little more on this side, so I could move it over just a tish this way, but that's not, I don't usually do that. I usually just eyeball it. I just eyeball it. Okay, now we can push that down. See it even, you can still even move it a little. You can budge it a little. All right, now this one's going to go on here. Now for this one, I don't think I'm going to use this glue. You can use like your Mod Podge, your Pent Art. That is what you got in the kit was Pent Art matte decoupage glue. I'm going to use Liquitex matte gel just because it's what I had handy. And I'm actually going to apply it right to the back of the paper. These papers are rather thick, so it's not gonna seep through immediately like it would on a napkin. You can tell I'm being really generous with the glue and I'm spreading it nice and smooth and even. I do want to make sure that I get my edges. So in the middle of this piece of paper is where I'm going to take my edges and I'm going to go off the edge of the paper. Because you know me, I always miss my edges. All right. And luckily, matte gel medium, just like the Pentart glue that you got in the kit, it's going to, when it's dry, it's going to dry pretty clear. It's not going to show. It's matte and it's basically invisible. So you don't have to worry about it leaving any sheen if you go over a little bit and get it somewhere where you didn't intend to. I'm going to pull this up just a little to smooth it out. Press her down. Beautiful. We're going to have one of each. I'm so excited. Okay, next up, I did two little details, you guys, that I thought added quite a bit to this project. Let me just make room so I can show you. I added two little details to this project that you may want to do if you have this. I used a bit of Stickles. Let me show you this here in a second. I'm going to get this glue brush into my water. Okay, so Stickles it's technically a glue with sparkle in it. It's called Stickles. I have a few more of these left in the shop too, in a variety of colors, but I use it most often to decorate and to like jazz up projects. So on this one, I added some to her waist right there, just a little tiny thin line to her waistline. And then I added a little, this is the way I like to do it. This is I've just always done this. I don't know why. You could go around the whole set of words, but I just went around this top end here on the left and the bottom on the right. But if you wanted more, I like just a little bit of glimmer, but not a ton. If you like a ton, then you can glitter up all you want. So oops, sorry, I just bumped the camera. So what I need to do now is pick what word I want in here. So I have Rise Up Beautiful on the first one. And on this one, what do we want? Which do you have a suggestion? Which one should I use? Rise Up Beautiful on the first one. Maybe I should do Make It Count. I like Dance in the Rain too. I Can and I Will is, you know, Rise Up Beautiful, I Can and I Will. That's kind of a good combination of words if these two are together as a set. Rise Up Beautiful or Start Again. That would be another good sentiment. So the first home decor piece, the first dress has Rise Up Beautiful. So I could do Start Again. I like I Can and I Will. Which one do you like? Tell me in the comments. Help me decide. Help me decide. Oh, Joyce, you can get the rice paper. You can get everything on the website. It's all there. All right. Let's see. I Can and I Will. Or Rise Up Beautiful, Start Again. I'm going to go with Start Again. Because how many times in life, I don't know, I'm 51, so I guess I have this perspective now. How many times in life do we have to start again? Oh my gosh, it feels like it's always, I'm like, really? This is definitely for me with my health. Good gravy. I've been through the gamut with my health, and it can be very discouraging. It can be, oh my gosh, I can't talk too much about it. I'll probably cry. It gets very discouraging sometimes with my health and well-being because it just doesn't cooperate with me. My body's not cooperating. I just want to see that it's about the same width. I thought so. This one's just a little taller. So I'm going, because it wouldn't matter if I only had one, if I was only doing one. But since I'm doing them together, like a little matching set, I'm going to cut off a little more. Again, I don't normally do this, but I'm going with the straight edge. It's going to go in the same place. Actually, we could do it in a different place if they were together. So this one is on the lower, the bottom lower. I mean, I could go up there if I wanted. I think I'm going to do it down here though. I don't know. It just seems to make the most sense to me. Before I glue it down though, again, I want it to match the rest of everything. So I'm going to take my little inker and we're going to add a little ink. This project is quite simple. It's very striking. It can give you like a really positive, meaningful quote. Like, especially, you know, how a lot of people do a quote of the year or a phrase of the year or a sentiment for the year. It doesn't have to be one for the year, but I'm just saying it could have something very, very positive and uplifting for you. A good, really good reminder on there, for whatever is meaningful in your life. So to me, Rise Up Beautiful, Start Again. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so that's going to get glued down. Again, you could, I could measure. I'm not a measuring type of girl though. I could measure to make sure they're both in the same exact spot, but I'm not. I'm going to glue it down with some tacky glue, and then we're going to add some stickles. So we do, you're welcome, Joyce. You like I can and I will. I liked both of them, Callie. I think either one of them would have gone great on here. Each month, like I said, each month I do a new craft kit. So at the beginning of the month here on the page, the Craft Therapy Club members always get the first announcement and the first chance to purchase the craft kit, because there's always a limited number, like a dozen of them, or maybe 15 of them available. So I let the Craft Therapy Club members grab it first. And then if there are leftovers, it's just out on the website that other people can grab it if they want to. But you can expect one craft kit a month that you can. And then I do the live, just like today. I do the live usually around the third week of the month. I'll be live here on the page creating the craft kit so that you know how I put it together. And you don't have to put it together just like me, but you sure could if you wanted to, if you need the guidance, if you need the inspiration and the help. So I'm just putting a little bit of stickles, just like I did before, on two corners on the word, and then I would like to find a place on the dress. I don't know if you can see that, just a little tiny bit of shimmer on the word. See it? It's just a little bit. I'm actually going to add a little more here. I'm going to make it a little thicker right here. I want a thicky Mickey. I want a thick line right there. I want it to really show. Okay, because I don't do it everywhere. I just do it very, I'm very picky about how much of this I do. Now on the other dress, I did put it on her waistline, but I've got the flowers kind of in the way here. I think I'm still going to do it. I'm going to go with her natural waistline on the dress, and I'm just going to let the flowers as though they're in front of this line of shimmer. So I'll show you. I'll hold it up so you can see. I'm going to do a line of shimmer on her waistline and pretending that the flowers are on top. So I'm not going to go over the flowers. I'm going to skip where the flowers are. Okay. So it's just a tiny little addition of some sparkle on her waistline. That to me is a perfect amount of shimmer. It's just a little, not a lot, just a little. It adds something special. Now the stickles, if you do decide to use them, friend, give it a few minutes. Do not be touching this and, you know, wanting to hang it on the wall right away, because it will take a few minutes to dry, those stickles. So please don't stick your, like I've done it a million times where I've stuck my finger in it. I'm going to put these two right next to each other. Oh, wait, how do I get this? Which way is straight? There we go. Jeez. I think I've been drinking. It's just that everything on the camera, I don't know if you've ever heard anybody say this, but everything on the camera is backwards for us. So if it looks like I'm supposed to go right, I actually am supposed to go left, and it always messes me up. Okay, so this was the original. This was what the kit was based off of, but you got both dresses in the kit, so you could make either one. Since I've already made that one, I used the other dress from the rice paper on this one. And you can see, you definitely can see, although if I didn't point it out, you might not have noticed it, but this one, I didn't put any paint on the board. I just distressed it with a distress ink. This one I painted with a little bit of that linen colored paint, and then I distressed on top of it. So it's a little darker on those two bare spots of wood where the rice paper is not. So this one's a little bit more dark than this one, but I think they're both equally beautiful. Andrea says stickles are really pretty and they add so much to a project. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. This is rice paper that you can grab from my site. Go to thecomfynestwithgrace.com and go into the shop. Go to the rice paper section. And I do still have some of this rice paper left. I have this rice paper. This is the background paper. I think there's some of that left. I think there is one full kit left. So if you want to buy the whole kit, you can get the whole kit. Just go to the craft kit section in the shop. Thanks, Jenny. She said both are gorgeous. Thank you, my friend. They do complement each other so well. Rise up, beautiful, start again. So these could be like matching home decor, right? Like in a powder room or, oh my gosh, in a teenager's room in a dorm at college. What a nice, pretty, feminine reminder that, girl, you got strength. Rise up and do it again. You got this. You can do this. Yes, Andrea, see? So what you said right there. This would be great in my granddaughter's room. What a great positive sentiment for sure. Oh, Joyce, I understand that completely. She says, there are days that my mind wants to craft, it wants to take on the world, but my body just doesn't feel the same, and I hate it. I battle with the same thing, Joyce. I battle with the same thing with this chronic pain stuff. So I understand where you're coming from. And this is why I'm adding that new series to the YouTube channel about crafting when you think you have no time. I call it tired crafting, but still getting creative time. You may not finish a whole entire project in when you do tired crafting, when there's like you have 15 minutes and your soul could really use some playtime with your colors or just with your stencils or your texture mediums or whatever makes you happy. But your body is too tired, your mind's too tired, but you feel like you need that like mental boost that creating gives you. I'm really going to encourage you guys more and more to just give yourself 15 minutes, even if it's only 15 minutes. Give yourself 15 minutes. An adult coloring book. I actually have a list that I've prepared that's going to be coming out in the next week or so. A list of 10 different ways that you can create when you're tired, but that will still fill you and make you feel good and make you feel better about what's going on. So it's like me time, that craft therapy time that we all kind of need. Thanks, Debbie, for saying so. Christina, thank you for the prayers. I'm going to be praying for all of you today, too. Thank you for saying that. I think it's really good to pray mutually for each other. Yes, Andrea, right? I think that's what I'm saying. I think so many of us that start again, I think that so many of us can really connect with that. Good morning, Cheryl. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I got to go get my teeth cleaned soon. I'm going to clean up my desk. I do like to clean up my desk when I'm done creating. I do like to clean it off so that the next time I come into my room, especially if I'm super tired, these are the kinds of habits that I will encourage you to create for yourself. Even if I'm super tired, if I clean up now, the next time I come in here, my table is empty and waiting for a new project, waiting for me to slap something down on the table and play, even if it's just playing with crayons or my watercolors in a mixed media pad or something like that. So anyway, I'm going to spend a few minutes cleaning up when we're done here. Thank you for being here. If you're catching the replay, we would love to know that. You can let us know in the comments that you're here and where you're coming in from. You guys have a beautiful, blessed day. I hope that this day is good to you. I hope you're all feeling good and that you find some good company today, or at least get a little bit of time to craft and create and just kind of fill your heart with that, the things that make you happy. Take care.